Kira Cousins, the woman currently taking TikTok by storm, but not for a good reason. Hi, I'm Kat. Sit back and relax while I tell you what we know so far. Disclaimer before we begin. All of this is alleged, and no convictions or charges have been brought forward. Let's start with who Kira is. Kira is a 22-year-old woman from a small town in Airdrie in Scotland where not much happens. And from what the locals are saying are mortified, this is the reason their town has been put on the map. Kira is a pretty blonde girl who seems like she has it all. A good support system, a baby on the way, and a life that many would envy. But this would come crashing down very quickly. Kira announced her pregnancy early on, and her ex-partner Jamie immediately said he was not ready, and asked her to have an abortion. It seems he stepped up pretty quickly, though, as he could be seen celebrating their daughter at a gender reveal months later. He was also spotted at a wedding Kira attended with her beautifully neat bump. Soon after their gender reveal, Kira would reveal that sadly their daughter had a heart defect that would need to be operated on shortly after birth. But her positivity and love for her child shone through. Meanwhile, Kira was telling her family and friends that Jamie was no good. His family was less than supportive, and made it clear she was the only parent who cared for her baby. This would continue until the birth. So let's jump there. Kira would try to contact her friend Neve in the middle of the night, because she had gone into labour. But Neve wouldn't see these missed calls until the very next morning when she woke to a text stating that her daughter Bonnie Lee had been born at 5 pounds 4 ounces, and she couldn't wait to meet her aunt Neve. Of course, Neve was distraught at the thought of her friend going through labour alone, and felt extreme guilt for being unable to support Kira through the hardest time in her life. But she knew she wouldn't let her go through that again. It is said that Kira told her mum she was going out for food, and came back the next day after being discharged from hospital. Kira would then introduce her baby to the father Jamie, who was also not at the birth, and he can be seen smiling and overjoyed holding his baby daughter. So much for a deadbeat dad, huh? Immediately Jamie's mother felt something was wrong. She told Jamie that the baby was far too quiet and doll-like and cold to be a real baby. This immediately sent Kira into a panic, and she would take Bonnie Lee to the hospital to be told she just had some mucus, and to keep her wrapped up safe and warm, so she did what any good mother would do in this situation. She'd contact Neve and ask her if she wanted to go for a walk with the baby, as she couldn't stand to be in her house. Neve at first said absolutely, until Kira told her what the hospital said, and Neve then suggested they don't go out, because that isn't safe for the baby. Kira persisted and asked to go to her place of work to show off the baby, and Neve obliged. Her co-workers were in awe of the baby, putting money in the pram and wishing Kira well, something that all new mums just need to hear sometimes. Still not wanting to be home, she went back to her friend's house, and Neve's mum was introduced to Bonnie Lee, but unable to hold the baby or even get close enough to hold her. This is the point Neve and her mum began to get suspicious, and rightfully so. Only a few days later, Kira would message Jamie to tell him that Bonnie Lee had unfortunately passed, but needed time to explain everything to him. It would then come out originally that Kira was asleep or in the bathroom when her mother entered the room, and discovered that Bonnie Lee was in fact a reborn doll, and always had been. The outrage was immediate. Everyone found out that Kira had in fact lied about being pregnant for 9 months, and she didn't give birth at all. From a fake bump, to a fake heart defect, to a fake birth, Kira had fabricated it all. There was no baby, and now her family and the father's family have been left to pick up the pieces. But why? What possesses anyone to take a lie this far? Was it the monetary gain? It is said her aunt sent her £500, and her grandparent bought her a £1,000 pram. Or was it Jamie? Was she so desperate to keep him that she would do by any means necessary? Or is it a darker possibility? Attention. Did Kira intentionally set her unborn baby up with a heart defect so she could then garner attention from losing her daughter? Was this so premeditated that she knew from the beginning that this was an impossible lie? I don't think any of us will ever truly know Kira's intentions, but what we do know is she has damaged everyone around her, and trust has been broken to the highest possible degree. Kira has actually spoken out and corrected a few things as seen in these screenshots, but I feel like she has bigger fish to fry than whether or not she was in the bathroom when it was found out that Bonnie Lee was a doll. New information is coming out daily, and the internet has gone crazy with theories. I will link Neve's TikTok in the description below, as she seems to be the only person willing to share her story at the moment, and her TikTok is where I got most of this information. I just ask that you do not send hate or harass the families involved. They are traumatized enough. If you enjoyed my cover of this story, please don't forget to like and subscribe, as I am still trying to find my feet as a content creator, and would love to continue to learn and bring interesting internet information to you guys. Have a great day, and question everything.